Oh yes, today we're going to talk about the fellas, the self-proclaimed bad boys over at Living with LT's sports card YouTube channel. Stick around.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Hey, sports card friends, we are back again. It is another day. It is another sports card video. You can count on us. We will be here for you. Today we have a fun one. A content creator that I've been watching for a long time, actually Living with LT. I remember him making videos going all the way back to 2020. I used to watch his channel. He watched mine. I remember him commenting and so forth. And he has brought out a new show that I've noticed here over the last month or so with various guests, bad boys, if you will. But before I get started, big shout out to today's video sponsor, MVPSportBreak.com. These guys can compete with the big distributors for new products, so definitely check them out. Coupon code DAD3 at checkout gets you 10% off of your entire order. And if it's over $500, it is free shipping. So make sure before you go to all the big distributors looking to buy new product, check these guys out first. They might have a better deal for you. I'll have their links in the video description as well as in the pinned comment below. All right, so like I said, I've been watching these guys over the last few weeks. Good stuff. The thing I like about this talk is it's just different. You know, I mean, there's a lot of hobby content that can become redundant. My show included. I mean, look, we're putting out pretty much daily content. There's going to be crossover all over the place. So sometimes, yes, you hear kind of the same things over, a lot of similar takes. You know, you might watch an hour-long form deal and you get maybe one or two nuggets out of it. I like these guys because they're kind of coming at it from a different angle. Maybe you would call this a little bit of a watchdog style show to some degree. They're commenting on other folks' content. Look, it's something different. And this past week, it was LT on his channel, Raul from AIH Sports. I've had him on my channel as well. Steve Splenda doesn't have a channel, but is on this show regularly, and he's friends with one of my hobby friends, Neo Sports Cards and Comics. And then also Pancake Analytics joined this week. So I thought that was a good lineup. I'll talk about these guys individually. I talked about LT already. I've really gone back and forth with LT going back a few years. Not that we've DM'd a lot, but we've been commenting on each other's stuff for a long time. Raul, AIH Sports, I've had him on my channel before, and I like his takes because, again, you're getting kind of a different viewpoint on stuff. It's a different angle. He's an accountant by trade, so looks at the stuff through a little bit of a different lens, has a finance interest, so he's going to talk about treasury bonds and how the overall macroeconomic stuff parlays into sports card pricing, and I think that that's interesting because I follow similar things, so I like listening to Raul. Steve Splenda is entertaining. He's on this show. I've seen him on pretty much every time. He collects Kevin Durant and LaDainian Tomlinson. So I like listening to what he's got to say. Different sides to the story. And then great guest on this week, Pancake Analytics. He has a data science background by trade. So I really like this past episode because they dove into a subject that I don't really think it's talked about enough. I mean, we do have data tools in this space. And like I've always said before, I think that it's better than nothing, better than what we had before, where you're kind of manually looking up eBay listings, sold listings, and you're trying to figure out pricing on cards. At least we've got something to look at past sales. But there's just so much work to do on this front. And I did DM a little bit back and forth with Pancake Analytics after this episode because I liked what he had to say. And again, this is what he does for a living. So he's going to look at it from a more advanced view than maybe software engineers that are building out a data tool. And so he provides good insight. And I think that the big kind of takeaway that I took just from talking to him is that I really hope that these companies continue to advance their product really on the data integrity side. And this isn't a bash like, oh, your data is terrible. What it is more of is just, it's tough to be able to verify sales with a handful of folks doing that. It would make a lot of sense for these companies to have a data governance team. And maybe they do. Maybe they have data scientists. Maybe they have data governance people already on staff. But if not, I hope that that's something that they look into because it becomes more and more important as the hobby becomes big business, which it has done over the last few years. Almost shockingly so. You know, where you had kind of a sleepy hobby turn into a massive deal, and now it's big business. You know, the art market used to be, $60 billion a year. I think it's still in that range, $50 to $60 billion a year on the collectible side and alternative investment side of things. Sports cards and sports memorabilia, it used to be sleepy. It used to be like 500 million, $1 billion, couple $1 billion a year industry. And now it's in the tens of billions of dollars. It's grown dramatically. Companies trying to play catch up on this, offering services to people that are operating in the space. So I don't want to fault the companies that have come in and offered those things. But again, I put out this, please continue to build on what you have and continue to try to figure out best practices on how to curate this data properly. Not all the sales are getting inputted properly. Not all the sales come through. Hire a guy like Pancake Analytics, come and consult, offer consultancy so that you guys can take some things. I mean, he's a guy that's operating in trading cards and then also has that background. So I think he really gets it. I think he would be a real asset. I don't know if he's open to that sort of thing. I have no idea. We didn't talk about that part, but I know that he did help the Card Ladder folks with their Pokemon index that he's got. And there were some limitations there. There's some things that they were able to do, but again, there's work to be done. There's work to be done. And so that was a big takeaway from this past talk. And then also, if you're trying to find the difference between beta males, gamma males.
Now she called me a beta male recently. Yeah, beta male to my face.
Steve, Raul, they're all over this thing. I've never heard guys talk about this more often, but these guys are all over that. Was it Sigma males? Sigma males?
One shall stand, one shall fall.
I don't know, but they've got all the different levels of male. And so if you want to learn about that as well, that's there for you. That's talk that you probably don't get on other sports card content pages. So make sure to check out Living with LT YouTube channel. They do this one every week or so, but it's good. It's something different. Again, watching hobby content, there's a lot of new stuff that breaks. I do it too. And sometimes it can get a little bit redundant. These guys are doing something that's a little bit different. I like hearing their hobby takes. So check them out. All right, guys, stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.